They got swept.
All right, so he's not giving IT and company much of a shot against the Cavs. Dominique, what say you?
Yeah, I got to agree with Stephen A there. They don't have much of a shot. I think that they could possibly win a game, and I think that it possibly works to the Cavs' advantage that the Celtics have home field advantage, because that first game is the game where you want to catch a team that's rusty, that's had a long break. And if the Cavs give up an away game, that's different than giving up a home game. So I think I'm not going to go out on a limb, but the Celtics are the weakest, like statistically proven. They're the weakest #1 seed, and LeBron may be the greatest player of all time. I don't think the evaluation analysis has to go much further than that.
You said all time?
Did he just say the GOAT?
I said maybe. I said maybe.
You got a guy named Michael Jordan.
I know who he is. I remember him. I saw him come fly with me.
He's great, but we'll get back to that. That's another subject. But I like Boston to win more than one game. They play well at home. And I think if they come out with the right mindset of having that confidence, that faith, knowing we can go out here and get these games, I think they'll put themselves in a position to win.
I look at it. I mean, I'm going to have to. I don't know why, but I'm agreeing with Dominic on this one. But I
want to win.
I was looking at a situation for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah, they may start out a little rusty, but that's something after a quarter and a half, you begin to get back into form. What we've seen over the last couple of weeks of the season for the Cleveland Cavaliers is a little bit more communication on defense. Offensively, it's out of Kyrie's hands at times, where Kyrie becomes the 2, LeBron becomes the 1. You can bring now Kevin Love not only on the blocks, but he can step outside because of the penetration from the 2 guys. And then also, J.R. Smith being back healthy has helped him out in so many ways. Now, I know LeBron talked about it during the middle of the season, getting all his guys back, but to bring J.R. Smith and what he brings from the outside. Now, J.R. Smith does not get into the paint, just like Tristan Thompson doesn't need to step outside the paint. But what you're seeing from this offense is I'm seeing a lot of flow. I'm seeing a lot of communication on the offensive end. Rebounding is something that I think they pay much attention to when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And when you look at the Boston Celtics, that's something that's really hurt them throughout this playoffs is rebounding on the glass.
Yeah,
and if Tristan Thompson
I just don't know where the Celtics have an advantage. Like maybe they're better defensively, but they aren't better rebounding. They aren't better at...
I like their bench. I like Boston bench.
I will agree.
You like Boston's bench better than the shooters that come off of the Cavs bench?
Yes,
exactly.
Boston bench can do a little bit more. Yeah. They're more athletic, I believe.
Yeah. Brown
you got a guy like Olenek, who just came out and exploded last night.
So we can
expect
that.
Marcus Smart, who makes he makes every great play. He's
okay. Before you start digging into that,
I'm fine with that.
I'm gonna agree with Dion. And this is the thing: off the bench is much more than scoring. Exactly. It's about defense. It's about rebounding. It's about
the
hustling.
players that don't show up on the stat sheet.
So he just bring up Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart was the X factor in this series because Marcus Smart not only can guard Bradley Beal, but he also can guard John Wall. So in this situation, he can not only guard Kyrie Irving, but he also can jump out on J.R. Smith as well. He's a physical guy. He gets down low. He's a hustler. He's a guy that kind of keeps everything going. And not only that, he can hit the outside jump shot. So let's just pay a little attention to that.
He make all the right plays.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Defensively, he made all the right charges, rebounding.
Yes.
And, Dion, how valuable is that on the basketball court? When you play with a guy who you just know is going to be in the right place, going to make the play, you don't have to worry about it.
It makes it easier for you. It makes it easier for you knowing that you got a guy behind there who's behind you, you can trust. Even if the defense do break down, you got a guy out there who can make plays. And that's game-changing, especially for Boston, especially in that arena with their fans. I think a guy like Marcus Smart, man, sometimes his play go unnoticed. Yeah. Like the little things he does that don't show up on the stat sheet. And like Terry Rozier, another guard who rebounded. He came in the game, and one of these playoffs, he had 7 rebounds, 8 rebounds. He hit big-time shots, too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean,
I like the bench. I like Cleveland bench also, though. Don't get me wrong. I like, Chandler, Kyle Korver, Shumpert, like Darren Williams. Like, it's about who won it more, man. I just like Boston. I like Boston to win more than one game.
You retracking?
No. I'm just trying to...
He never said Boston was going to win the series. He just said they're going to win 2.
I think he said
more than one game.
Okay.
But I'm just throwing out, the key points.
Isaiah Thomas reminding everybody that nobody has given him a chance throughout this entire playoff run, saying we were down 2-0 to Chicago. They didn't give us a chance then. We get the #1 seed. They didn't give us a chance then. Obviously, they now are in a position to advance their season. Anything to the underdog? When you've been an underdog, how has it motivated you?
I mean, it helps to give you something to talk about. You might work out a little bit better, a little harder during the week. But when you get out there and you look across the court, and there's LeBron James and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, all that underdog BS don't really get you very far. The NBA is notorious.
That's a lie. I mean, even if you match up with them type guys, you should that gets your juices going. No matter
Oh, no,
what
I agree,
the
but-
competition. You want to beat the best.
Does that make your shots go in more? Because
might.
you're an underdog?
It might because
Yeah,
you're
Kelly Olynyk elevated his game.
You're more focused. You're locked in, and you like, man, we got a chance to knock these guys off. So.
And there's that whole blood in the water concept
it's a
as
different
well.
mindset.
If you start to
mindset,
feel
man.
like you can
Momentum.
hang,
I feel like
Momentum is key.
No question.
I don't believe in momentum, but I feel like Dion is kind of talking about Dion right now.
No.
He's talking from
In a
personal
sense,
experience.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing. But momentum take you a long way. If you make a shot and the crowd's involved, then you go back on the defensive end, you get a big time stop, and then the place is rocking.
That don't change
They don't
who
get no
across
better
the
than
court
that.
from you.
One thing that we have to mention, Isaiah Thomas is averaging 25-plus points a game versus the Cleveland Cavaliers.
It's not all about points, though. Remember, he's a
what I'm
defensive
saying,
liability.
You need
Fact or
your
fiction?
stars to elevate their game. Now, the reason that they've been in this position is because of Isaiah Thomas.
True.
And everyone else has now elevated their game with him. So what Dion's basically talking about is...
Okay, that's enough.
You know,
Put your watch on it there.
Hey,
bet something.
I'm
You
winning
believe
right
in him?
now.
You
I'm
believe in
winning
him?
right now.
I mean, you can try to pick on Isaiah, but at the end of the day, you gotta still go down there and guard him.
Yeah.
No matter what you say.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that. Isaiah's tremendous, but
There's a lot of guys that there's a couple guys on Cleveland that post up. Brian, Kyrie, those type of guys. I don't think Isaiah will guard them.
Mm-hmm.
If I was a coach, if I was T-Lou, I would put Isaiah on JR. He's a shooter.
Yeah.
I didn't see JR play with his back to the basket. So I would try that first.
yeah, I mean that's you can't
then it keeps
create those mismatches with screens and pitch.
also, I mean, they're gonna try to exploit it.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So that's
As
all.
you
My
should,
only
but-
point is it's difficult if your best offensive player is also a liability
He's
on
not
defense.
bad. He's just small.
He's just small.
He's strong.
Yeah.
He's just small.
Last time I checked, being big is kind of important in basketball.
When? Allen Iverson, the
Yeah.
great, Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, I could go down a list of a lot of dudes that's 6'8" and above. Also, like they're aberrations. Like
We
Allen
also
Iverson.
see some
how many?
6'8" that can't play.
So-
as
True,
well.
but how many
Yeah,
Allen
exactly.
Iversons have you seen? There's been one.
The leaders changed. How many? You got guys, look at the point guards now.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Athletic point guards. Russ,
Yeah.
Derrick Rose, those type of guys. John Wall. It's
None of them
the
look
game
like
evolved.
Isaiah Thomas.
involved.
Well, I mean, you still have, Kyrie's not that tall. Kyrie's just about average. You got Steph Curry, that's Chris Paul. These are guys who can put up 25 points per game.
None of
and
them
then
are
on the
5'9".
defensive end, some of my liabilities. But that's the way the NBA
All right, we're
is.
talking size, we're talking motivation, we're talking momentum. I know a guy on the other
Size
side who is
matters.
very motivated in LeBron James and company, and they are also rested headed into
True.
this series.
It matters.
Coming up, Tom Brady's racked up
Trust
5 titles now, the most ever for a quarterback. So why doesn't he believe he's the GOAT, gentlemen? We'll find out if the guys are buying what he's selling. Plus, Zaza Pachulia, he's been in the news lately, hasn't he? Potentially dirty play on Kawhi Leonard was the talk of the town. We'll react to Greg Popovich's latest rant after this.
A two-step lead with your foot closeout is not appropriate. It's dangerous. It's unsportsmanlike. It's just not what anybody does to anybody else.